Hi, welcome to Podclub. In this episode, I'll be sharing feedback on our recent interview with proud Gamilaroi and Cooma woman, Aboriginal researcher, Associate Professor Maree Toombs. In the interview, we talked about culturally tailored suicide intervention training and specifically about one of Maree's current projects, iAssist, a program established to address increasing rates of suicide among Indigenous people. We've had comments from listeners around the world, and I'd love to share a few of those with you right now. Richard said on Facebook, "Great podcast. The transformational story to iAssist is community-based development at its best." Maree's T for T story about the essence of PAL, intuitive, hearing the story, personally empowering, and her application at the end of day 2 says so much about why she and many others say, "I'm in love with this." The iAssist cultural adaptations speak volumes to the founding dream of developing a core curriculum with enough cultural and participant flexibility to ward off pressures of the day, to have separate and specialised adaptations for every expert declared helping discipline and participant group. Joe said, "It's great to hear about a program like this was developed by First Nations people in another country. I wonder if it would resonate with Indigenous communities in our country. We'll have to take a look." CEO of LivingWorks Australia, Shane Connell, got in touch to say, "It's so good to see conversations from a couple of years ago with Associate Professor Maree Toombs, or Toomsy as she's called by the team, about how to support co-design work to take place in communities, to this year where Indigenous trainers, supported by their non-Indigenous colleagues, have run iAssist courses in communities around the country." Shane said that over the past 18 months, we've been working with key cultural and community leaders, and I've been so humbled to sit alongside them as they adapt the LivingWorks suicide intervention framework to be culturally safe and appropriate. To be asked by experts in their own communities to use and adapt the LivingWorks training framework as part of locally driven suicide prevention plans is such an honour and privilege. I look forward to continuing to learn how LivingWorks can contribute to safe spaces for learning these life-saving skills. Thank you, Shane. There are so many more comments I could share in this Podclub episode, but I wanted to give Indigenous trainer Tegan some space to tell us a bit about her experiences delivering the training. Tegan delivered her first iAssist course last year. Here's what she had to say about culturally tailored training in practice.
Listening to the podcast of Maree Toombs talking about the consultation and adaptation of iAssist is exactly what I've experienced in my own work, is that sort of thing needs to be done, making sure that our communities have a voice in what they want to learn and how they can implement these training programs back into their communities. So by doing consultation with community, you're giving them a voice to be part of the process. And by being part of the process is empowering them to then participate, but also to empower their communities to participate in the program as well, and to make a difference and to want to make those changes that are needed in community. When I delivered Indigenous Assist to a group over in Brisbane, majority of them were from Inala, which is a very high-risk community and has a lot going on. And just listening to their stories about how the system fails them when somebody dies by suicide, or just in general, access to services is failing them. Culturally appropriate services is failing. So I guess at the end of the 2 days, we had a group of people who are now trained to do interventions with mob and community. And by doing that, they feel empowered themselves now that they can help other people because they now have a model that helps them to help others. And it's very important that our mob are empowered to do this because, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are at the highest of statistics when it comes to suicide, when it comes to chronic conditions, than that of the general population. So programs like Indigenous Assist, I can't wait to see the rollout, and I can't wait to see communities jump on board and get trained and see more Indigenous trainers trained across Australia delivering this program. And I look forward to continuing to be a trainer and to continue to work with LivingWorks with the development of an Indigenous Safe Talk program called Safe Yarn.
Thanks, Tegan. Now, LivingWorks HQ are not the only Tegan superfans, I hear. When we published this episode, we had a comment from Karen who said, "You are truly blessed to have such passionate people working together to help all. I'm fortunate to see and feel directly the impact of Tegan's work." How good is it to hear comments like that? Thank you and well done, Tegan. Thank you to all of our listeners for your feedback on this episode, and to all trainers like Tegan who are out there in communities across the world delivering suicide first aid training. Finally, a huge thank you to Maree for such a fantastic interview and research project in iAssist. Keep the comments coming and stay tuned for the next episode, available soon on all your usual podcast players. See you in Podclub.